activity. So she's here to tell us everything. Ma'am, kindly introduce yourself, ma'am.
Okay, I want to welcome everyone for this program, and our host is my very good friend, my good sister from another mother. So I'm always enjoying our program, and I can see her proactively, tenacity. I am jealous also.
Oh, I'm blushing. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, so as you mentioned, my name is Olubukola Adewumi. So I live in the UK, precisely in Liverpool, and I have two professions that I practice. So I am a biomedical scientist, and I'm also a professional counselor. So I'm a trained biomedical scientist. I work in the lab. I'm a trained counselor. I still practice my counseling stuff. And I am also an award winner, a national award winner by the UK here. I'm also a published author. Yeah, so my goal in life as a counselor is to create environment for people to grow and believe in themselves, knowing how incredible they are, how they can love themselves. And because if you love yourself, you're able to love others. So you can't give anything you don't have to anybody. So the love has to start from you. So if you check my page very well, you find out that I'm always talking about how to love yourself and how to see how powerful you are inside. And another goal that I have as a counselor is to teach people how not to allow external factors to influence your life so much that you are kicked out of balance. So because you grow and grow from within with the knowledge that you have acquired. That is my goal in life as a counselor. So if you are able to follow me on my page, you find out so many things you can learn from what I always talk about. And I have a book also that you can check on Amazon. This is my first book that I've written. You just type my name, you'll be able to see this book on Amazon's side. It is called Take Hold of Your Life. And there are so many, just a little mindset shift that can help you be in charge of your life. That's all the book is about. Yeah. So I think I'm done with the introduction of myself. And if you're able to follow me on my page, you always see what I'm talking about, how to improve your health, because I'm also an award winner. I'm an award winner in 2021. I have been awarded as mental health and well-being for people, and which has been recognized in the UK.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I think that's okay.
Thank you. You have really done well for yourself, as people will say. They have been, commending you here. Like, okay, you have really done well. Thank you so much. As you can hear, self-love is very important. If you don't love yourself, all these things will not be acquired. So, so that's the first and foremost thing. So if you don't love yourself, you will not look for solutions for your problems. You will not do this, you will not do that. So self-love is important. Before you can say you love somebody, you have to love yourself first. And that is it. Thank you so very much, man. And according to our topic today, in case you are just joining for the first time, Mrs. Olubukola Adewumi is her name, and I am Oluabi or Abid Busi. So you all know me anyway. So emotional management is our topic for today, which you said you are going to emphasize on a particular topic, which is going to be subtopic. So what is emotion, if we should ask? Who gets emotion, and how do we recognize emotion?
Okay, emotion is just a mental reaction. We all have that. Whether we have problems with our relationship, we have mood swing, sometimes it's swing, sometimes it's just a mental reaction. So emotion can be positive, it can be negative. A positive emotion is like love. A negative emotion is anger. We all have this. You must possess both of them. So you can't say all your life you have only positive emotions, or you only have negative emotions. We all have positive and negative emotions. The most important thing is the skill to manage the emotions. So, for example, you can love somebody and if you love somebody and you love the person too much, it's going to be a problem. If you are anger, you have anger issues and you cannot manage it, they start calling you that you have a sculpture or something like that. So every emotion should be managed. You shouldn't be out of balance. You should be able to balance. And some people will tell you that you shouldn't be angry. That is wrong. You must be angry. Because if anybody violates your boundaries, or somebody makes you uncomfortable, or you experience injustice, you must feel that anger. The anger is a negative emotion, but it is also beneficiary to us. So that is all about emotion.
Thank
Just
you.
a strong feeling.
That's just a summary that everybody has emotion. So it can be positive or negative. And too much of everything is not even good there. So, and that is it. So, how many types of emotions do we have? Is it just being happy and being angry? Are those the two emotions?
So many emotions. We have so many negative emotions. We have so many positive emotions as well. Love is a positive emotion. Happiness is a positive emotion. Being able to, like, appreciation, gratitude, they are all emotions and they are positive. Negative emotions can be like something like anger, you are showing your frustration, you have self-pity, you cannot, there are so many of them. You just Google, you have so many emotions. In fact, you want to teach a child, you can teach them with different kinds of emojis. You show them that this is anger emotion, this is happy emotion, because they also feel their own emotions as well, because, you just to explain to them. So various types of emotions that that we have, but all these are positive and negative, but you'll be able to manage them. You have to be balanced, and then you skill for that.
Okay. Yeah. So, how do we identify them?
Yeah, like I mentioned, managing your emotions is a skill. And sorry, what's the question again?
I said, how do you identify those emotions?
Yes, emotions, like I mentioned before, you have to be able to manage. Each person should be able to manage their skills. And the first step to managing your skills is to identify your emotions. And the second part of it is you have to be able to name your emotions. For example, like I mentioned, we all have emotions. Okay, jealousy is a negative emotion. It can also be a positive one. So, for example, you want to protect your partner, your husband, you have to show jealousy because you are jealous about something that you care for. Yeah. So you have jealousy as a negative emotion. For example, I will tell you about something that mostly happens to all of us. For example, two of you are paying to have a car. Let me say you want to buy a car or you want to get pregnant. You have been praying. Two of you have been praying together. God, give us children. And one of you just gets pregnant. How will you feel? It's normal. It's normal for you to be jealous. The first thing that comes to mind is God, why not me? Why she? Is there anything I have done wrong? You first of all look at yourself and say, God must be partial or something like that. It's normal for you to react. Then you begin to look at yourself and say, well, God must answer somebody first. And depends, God has decided to answer the other person. It depends on how you manage your image. You can become bitter, you can become resentful, it can lead to so many things. In fact, you can poison the person. You can go to the extreme. So management of your emotion is a powerful skill that every one of us should learn. So the person will now sit down and say, oh God, I know I've not seen the good people. I know in my own time, you will come out for me. And then you begin to think, okay, let me rejoice with those people are rejoicing now. So that when my own time comes, people will rejoice with me. That is the way of now identifying. Now, the first thing that comes to mind is that recognize what you are dealing with. Tell yourself, I am feeling jealous now. Jealousy is what is coming in now. And it's okay for me to feel this way. The second thing is that you have to start accepting your feelings. Accept them. Say, this is what is happening to me right now. And then I have to deal with it. Anger is there. Resentment is there. They are all negative emotions. But we have to be able to identify these emotions when they come in for. We all deal with them on a daily basis. Is it at workplace? Is it at home? Dealing with children? Dealing with people from church? From workplace? All over. Every day we deal with these emotions. But we have to be balanced. You know?
Okay. So there are so many emotions. I don't even think we can finish the
Many
emotions
emotions.
because they are too numerous. There are so many.
Yes.
Okay. So they can be positive, they can be negative, according to what you said. All you need to do is to be able to manage whichever one, right? And then okay, like let me just give you an open hand to go ahead with whatever you've got to tell us today about this.
Okay. So before I go on this topic, I would like to say that when you talk about trauma, I want to sound a little bit, it can generate a kind of emotions as well. Because sometimes when you talk about trauma, it reminds you of what you have gone through, maybe as a child, or somebody has offended you, or things have happened to you. It can trigger so many emotions, very strong emotions in you. So if you are listening to me, it's just to let you know that you might start having some maybe feeling very uncomfortable. It is all normal. And then just take about maybe few breaths and relax and continue. So yeah. So today we are talking about trauma and PTSD. I will explain what trauma now is. I also explain what PTSD is. Most of us don't know what PTSD is. In fact, until I got to this country, before I knew that I should have been diagnosed for PTSD for what I have experienced personally. And I'm going to explain that to everybody. So trauma is when you experience something very stressful and frightening and very, very stressful. And it is difficult for you to cope. Yeah. So it could be one incident or it could be an ongoing one. Now, trauma is different for everybody. Each and every one of us. It depends on how it affects you. So your trauma might be different from my own trauma. Even if we have similar ones, the experience that we have are always different. So everybody is unique. What traumatized you might not be one that traumatized me. Yeah. So um, so at some point in life, we will all experience trauma. All of us. It might be different. Like what is going on with the Israelis and Gaza and the war that is going on now. They didn't pray for it. They didn't want it, but it just happened. Now, imagine the children that grow up in that environment. When they grow up, or as they grow up as adults, when they hear a gunshot, then do you think they will not remember the war that happened and killed their parents? They will always be traumatized. And when they remember, they can start having a very strong emotion. Right. So trauma is personal. You can't tell somebody who has just lost her husband and say, get over it. I remember when I lost my husband. Within 6 months, I've forgotten about it. What is wrong with you? We don't tell people like that. We are all different. The way we manage and the way we see trauma is different. So trauma is very, 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 very personal. So when trauma happens to us, like I mentioned, we will all be traumatized at some point. For example, if I ask one of you now, maybe you have lost your parents, it can be traumatizing to somebody. You know, somebody told me, said that she had just lost her mother, and this person that was talking was like 60 years, and then she said she lost her mother, and said she has to go for counseling, and they have to blah blah blah. And inside me, I was like, how old is this woman we're talking about now? But when she told me, she said she almost went through. And I was like, why? But you don't know what she has been going through by the time trauma came into her life. So she reacted. We are all different. So when you see somebody telling you about their personal issues, don't use your hand and say, oh, get over it. I remember when I did this, it was just, I just realized it. Well, what is wrong with you? Get over it. Don't say that to anybody. It is very insensitive. It is not good. So what trauma does to us is that trauma makes us very frightened. I will tell my own personal trauma. You feel under threat, you feel humiliated, you feel dejected, you can feel unsafe, unsupported, neglected. Sometimes you see people talking about church people are not very caring because they feel dejected or rejected when they needed help. You know, so sometimes it might be family members or friends that you expect to get closer to you when you really need it and they are not there for you. So that's why I said trauma is very, very important. It can be a distracting time. It can make you lose your focus. You might need some people leave jobs at that particular point in time. They cannot cope anymore. Trauma can make you feel powerless, ashamed, trapped. You feel denied. In fact, sometimes you will not be able to fall asleep. I'm going to talk about later in this discussion. So, what are the types of trauma that we have? I'm going to explain that, and I'm going to share one or two examples. There is what we call primary trauma. Primary trauma is the direct experience of traumatic event, such as you have a car accident. I know somebody who has a car accident and said, I will never drive in my life again. And the person refused to drive just because of one accident. Because he said, once I'm just behind the wheel, I feel I'm going to kill somebody because of the accident that happened in the past. So the person needs a counselor to help them get out of that trauma and walk them through it. Or somebody who has a plane crash, person will say, even to walk from London, I prefer to walk from Nigeria to London than to fly aeroplane. Yeah, because we have different ways as we manage our trauma. So that is primary trauma. Secondary trauma is very, very, very similar to it. You are not directly involved, but you feel the same impact. Mm. For example, if you are working as a counselor, sometimes you can be traumatized as well because they come and tell us things. You come and tell us how somebody raped you. We can carry that and run with it. And then by the time I want to sleep in the night, you'll be thinking, ah, Kogao, my father raping a child, and then this and that. So we as counselors to be traumatized. A lawyer can be traumatized because they hear a lot. A doctor can be traumatized because they hear a lot. Nurses, firefighters. If you hear stories about firefighters, in fact, you'll be asking yourself, how do they sleep? Because when you go to a house, you are hearing a child, a child's cry. Help me, help me. That help me may not leave your brain for the rest of your life. So even people who are working in the hospital environment, they can be traumatized, and that's what we call secondary trauma. Secondary trauma. All the healthcare people, sometimes they might need to go for counseling. Yeah. Police officers too, paramedics. When you see somebody come into the hospital, half of the body is being flashed into two, into your brain, and then you carry it, and then start shaking. You feel as if you are the person that has actually encountered the trauma itself. Yeah. There's also what we call childhood trauma. I think that is the word for it because it affects you throughout the life. It affects your adulthood, and it can also lead to serious mental problem. Childhood trauma is because the child cannot figure out what is going on. It's still a child, but it is like when you are making a child to understand what is going on as an adult, but the child cannot really understand what is going on. Yeah. So it's very, very traumatic for a child to be neglected, a child to be abandoned, a child to feel war, a child born in a very toxic environment and all that. So it is very, very distressing. And when a child like this grows up as a child and grows up as an adult, he begins to see the world differently. The world is not safe. Everybody that comes around us has come to help me. Ayé làwọn eléyìí o, wọ́n ti bá àwọn parents mi ṣe ṣe mí náà nìyí o, that stuff. It can be very, very traumatizing. People who experience divorced parents who have problems with it is very, very terrible for their children. It's traumatizing. Another kind of trauma is what I would call birth trauma. So I went to this place to give a talk about how to manage your emotions. So this woman was asking how to manage her emotions, and she was asking a question. So I was asking her, what happened to you? She said, I don't think I will ever get pregnant again. Oh, any problem? She said, the first pregnancy she had was very traumatic. He said, when she was pregnant, everything was okay, but the day of delivery, they did the operation for her, everything was fine, and then suddenly started bleeding, and then had to rush her back to the center again to do the second surgery, and it was so painful. He said anytime she sees a pregnant woman, she will just start running. Madam, what is the problem? Say, I don't want to look at you at all. I don't want to see anything pregnant. Don't even come out. He said, don't even talk about pregnancy anymore. I will never be pregnant again. I don't want to be pregnant because the trauma is still in her brain. She cannot cope with it. It's so distressing. So when you see somebody like this, what is the problem? Go for the second one now. You don't know what she has been through. It is a very serious. Let's talk about. And you think, I'm sorry to say, our environment in Africa is very judgmental. we are very judgmental. And when you see people, well, that's why we die in silence, because you don't know who to share your problems with. If I share my problems, you will judge me. I just keep quiet. Uh-huh. So that is about breast. So how does our body respond to all this danger? Now, I will explain that your body is your friend. It's always trying to protect you. That's how God made the body. It's always to protect you. So when you are encountered a danger or something is approaching, for example, a lion comes to you. You have seen a lion now. What is telling you now is that this is death. But your body will tell you, because there are so many neurons in your body that is going to inform you of something that is going on. Your eyes is your first window. Because a blind person will don't see that there is a danger coming. But you that have eyes, you can see that the danger is coming. So when you see a danger coming, you see a lion coming, the first thing that your body will say is to tell you that to release some hormones immediately. These neurons, they work in seconds, but they have to work in seconds because they don't have time for you to reason. There's no time to reason now. So they just release what is called this stress hormones. They release adrenaline and they release cortisol. So when these hormones are being released, they are for you to begin to gather yourself what you are going to do. We are talking about half seconds now. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So we are talking about seconds now, because your eyes have seen this, have seen the danger, and then the next thing is that immediately the neurons are starting to work and they start begin to inform your adrenaline, your all the organs in the body. Oh yeah, release that, there's a danger, she has to run, blah blah blah, and then all these things begin to happen in your body. So these ones are called stress hormones. Immediately you begin to know what you are going to do. Then you see that you start shaking, your eyes are open wide, the blood is gushing into your heart starts pounding, and then the next thing is that it gives you strength to run. All these things are just happening in like 2-3 seconds, because this is their job to do. So that is how your body reacts naturally to stress. Now, it's either you can flee and start running. During the time of stress, you don't need to think. That's why when you see people, it's you that sit in your house, you say, why didn't you do it? Like, we are not talking about reasoning now. You will just look around and see a tree and climb. And then you will find you'll be laughing and say, how did I even get here? You don't need to know. It will bypass your reasoning. And then the next thing is that you just find yourself under the tree. The tree that you cannot normally climb. Somebody is saying we can't hear again.
They can't hear.
They can't hear. No, they said they can't hear.
Okay, I guess that's smart. You want to increase your honesty?
I have. This is my highest.
All along, I didn't know I was on phone with you. Maybe that was why it was. Let me call you again.
Is it my own or our own?
Just pick.
Okay.
Keep talking. Ah, I think it will tie it too.
Can you hear me?
Oh, okay. Go back on. Go back on. Because you were on before, so maybe that was why. And I shouldn't have cut it off. Go back to the program.
Okay, can you hear me now?
I can hear you, but you are no longer on the show. Go back to the show.
Okay. We'll go back to the show.
We do it the way we did it the other time. Let's see.
It is well.
I just invited you.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm back on now.
Okay, it's better now.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yes, clearly. It's much more clearer and louder.
Okay. Can they hear me now? Okay.
Yes, they said yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So you can flee and run and get yourself on the tree. You see, when you are playing football, it's like when you are playing football, you see everybody saying, why didn't you put the ball like this? It's because you are thinking. But for the people who are in the trauma, who are experiencing it, they are not thinking. They are just playing. So you will be do things like this. When you are going through stress, your reasoning is suspended. Nothing. So it's either you flee or you freeze. You just find yourself. Is it death? Oh yeah, finally. This is the Lord's prayer. God, help me. Well, heaven don't accept my soul. Yeah, you just freeze. Sometimes it might be, that's why we call free, we call it free or freeze. Yeah. So those are how we react, your body reaction. So if you have trauma, it's the same body reaction that can continue for a long time. Even after the trauma has happened, you can still feel as if you have the trauma after many years. Immediately you remember. You don't want to go to the place, you don't want people to talk about it. Sometimes you just feel yourself crying for no reason. So how does trauma make us feel? We feel angry. We feel like we feel numb, like you don't even feel any emotion. You'll be asking you what's wrong with you. You don't know how you are feeling. If it makes you feel scared, you feel like you are grieving. You feel worried, you feel confused, you can lack some sleep, you feel shocked, you feel like you are watching a horror movie. And then you are hypervigilant. You cannot relax. You can't relax. But for everyone who feels the same way during after this one, that will feel can change with time. Like I mentioned, if you are traumatized, after some time, after the first shock, second shock, it's like when you are having a grief, you have just lost somebody. The first week you will be in denial. This person has died. No, it can never. My friend, no, never. Yeah. Then you begin to, as time goes on, you begin to finally just accept, say, it has happened. You know. So as time goes on, you will begin to accept your life, and then you begin to move on. We are talking about feeling. Then after 4 weeks, you are still feeling as if it has just happened. That is when the problem. So another feeling that you can feel is what we call self-blame. You begin to blame yourself for what has happened. For example, a child that has been raped, you look at yourself and say, maybe because I'm the only child, the only girl, that is why I've been raped by my father, my uncle raped me or something like that. You blame yourself for the predicament that has befallen you. Seriously, it's not your fault. So, like asking the person who is in the war zone now and say it's your fault, it will never be your fault. Because your mind is trying to find a reason for what has just happened. Self-blame is very difficult to handle. It's one emotion that is really, really difficult. It's very difficult. So what do you feel in your body when you have the physical effect of trauma? You can start feeling headache. Your body can start shaking. You can start sweating. You can have memory problems. You can't remember things. Sometimes you dizziness, changing of mood, and body and body pains. These are the physical things you can feel in your body when you are traumatized. Yeah. Does anybody have a question before I go to the next part of this discussion? Okay. I'm going to. You may not be able to sleep here. That's one of the strongest parts of you may not be able to sleep. I'm going to start my own after this. Okay. Any question?
Somebody asks, how do you overcome self-blame or self-pity?
Self-blame. Right. We need to talk about self-pity. I think I posted something about self-pity last week. Self-pity is also a negative emotion. It is a waste of energy. It is very difficult emotion to manage because you just sit down and say, God, why did you make me come and suffer in life? Then from that perspective, you begin to see life as a very unsafe place. If you see people, they will hate you. If you see other people, like everybody is better than me, why is my life like this? And then it's just a roller coaster of emotions. You are resentful, you are angry, so many other negative emotions will join this self-pity, and then it can lead to depression and even suicide. It is terrible to, if you are going into that, that's another topic on its own. Self-pity is and self-blame, they're very powerful emotions that are very happening. So it's very important to see a counselor who is going to walk you through and support, to give you that support. So let me leave
Okay. Now, somebody asks, should we say mood swing is an emotion also, right?
In a way, it's mood swing. So this morning you have just gone to the office, everybody is telling you, my sister, after that 1 hour, you are just sitting on your desk. Are you okay? I don't want to talk to anybody. The next thing you say, they said something is wrong with this person. It's not because you are with me, just because you cannot manage. You don't have the skill to manage. And to be honest, I tell people everybody needs counseling. I went for counseling. But in my own country, anybody who goes for counseling, I want we don't love for counseling. I want to pray with I went for counseling because I could not cope with what was happening to me. And it's a church matter. My sister, it's a church matter that I want to dabaru my head. And I had to go to the counselor because to be honest, the first thing what I love most is myself. That's number one. I love myself. And immediately I sense that something is immediately I just sense that I need help. So I went to the doctor. I need to be referred to a counselor. He referred me to this counselor. And I was counseling today. So when I got to the counselor, he was telling me what is the problem. I said it's from the church. Your counselor only me this and that to the vibes I'm getting. But that was the best day of my life. Because when you go for counseling, what you are looking for is not what you are going to get. You will get more. You will begin to know yourself. You will know other people. You know how to manage they will give you so many skills. They gave me a lot of skills. When you see the person, how do you feel? So they started helping me to manage my emotions, how I would deal with them. By the time I went to church, I King Baba. When the person is coming with their it's because they are insecure. They are just transferring their insecurity to you. And me as a person, Abebe Benny, me, that's how God made. We're all different. And the person that I'm having problem with is a quiet person, but insecure. And if you have an insecure leader, it's better you leave. You can't work together. So I start preparing how to live with you. That is how God made me. I can't change myself because of you. We are all different. So content is good for everyone. I always tell people that content is not about it will develop you. It will make you change the world. We will give skills, a lot of techniques that can help you because it has helped me. So I will take one more question and then I will go to my own personal experience with trauma.
This one is 2 in 1, but before I say it, I just want to say something quite quickly. The other time when you were talking about when people are going through stuff and they expected some people, to be there for them, and then they felt left, like let down, like the person lets them down, and then you never can tell. You don't know who you are even expecting to lift you up might be going through one thing or the other. I had a personal experience recently. This was about over a year ago. I was going through some stuff. I think it was in December 2022. This thing started. It was one issue like that. So, and then this person told me her own issue also. I said, okay, like I tried to advise in a way I could. So, but then I was dealing with mine. I said, oh, thank God I have not even told her my own. It would have been so complicating for her, to manage. And then boom, I had a second, another experience, third experience, fourth, fifth, like the same year, between 2022 December to 2023 December, I went through 5, 6 different things. They were so traumatizing. Well, I didn't see anybody. This person till tomorrow still hungry that I didn't react so well to what she told me. But she didn't know what I went through. Even people were trying to tell her that this person is going through something, so it's a lie. But because I smile, I come online, so that is where the self-love comes in. Because when I sit down, I think about it, I say, if I keep thinking and thinking and thinking, this thing is going to make me crazy. So the best thing is to come up, and that is when I even do a video, I'll dance, I'll just appreciate God that so many people go through stuff that are not even up to this one, and they go crazy about it. Some don't even come out of it. That's the end of it and stuff like that. So we should just, the self-love, as you said it today, it's been hammering on my head now. So this is what I'll be saying all the time. Like, okay, self-love, self-love.
Self-love is very good. That is why I'm always, all my posts is on how to appreciate yourself, how to love yourself. If you don't love yourself, there is no way you can love another person. It's not possible.
That is it. That is it. So the question now is, somebody asked me, how do you deal with breakup trauma? Then another person said, is economy a trauma too? Because he is going through economic trauma.
You see, we always think that this economy is only biting like it's biting everywhere. If you come to Western world here, I will even say that Nigeria is better. You see people sleeping on the road in the cold. Nigeria, you can see find somebody or nobody here.
Nobody.
Things are really very hard here. You're on your own. I remember when I had my last time, there is nobody to help me go Mileno. Don't my bed joking. Nobody.
I even had a CS. I had to bathe the baby myself.
Exactly. Nobody is knocking at your door and saying, how are you feeling? Nobody. It's very, very challenging. Economy. Don't about economy. Economy is everywhere. I have mentioned it on my post as
all
well.
over the world.
Please follow my page. You will always have something to gain from whatever, because I'm always posting a lot of things, and people know me for that. But I just want you to love yourself. I want you to take all the blocks and the barriers that are making you to move into getting to your highest potential. Because I have been through it, and I want people not to go through what I have been through. Is that the last question? So that I go to my personal experience.
One yeah boy just posted one.
I don't call
Well,
him yeah.
I don't
Okay.
want to hold it. Well, I mean, handle it with levity, because the way we handle situations differs, from each other. He said he lost his mother's money when he was young, and the way they beat him. When you didn't do this thing, you didn't do it intentionally, and you were
That
beaten
trauma
for
will be
it.
with you for life.
Till tomorrow, that he's still feeling it, that he's still, that how will he, how is he going to get over such thing, because he still remembers and it's still painful,
You see
especially you didn't
what I
steal
am
the
saying?
money, you didn't spend the money, you didn't lose the money intentionally, maybe you didn't even know how it got lost.
You see what I am saying? This has happened maybe 25, 30 years. What happened 25, 30 years ago can still haunt you. You will not be able to trust anybody in your life again. People are just talking about things. You will just say, me, trust another. Never in my life. Because of one person that has hurt you. That's why I said we all need to go for counseling. You need skills, you need technique. So we have all these techniques that we will walk through with you. How is it paining you? When you see life, you start with how you see life, because any trauma that you have ever experienced changes your perception about life. It not change immediately. You feel unsafe, you go anywhere, you don't have trust, you cannot sleep, it just changed everything. In fact, they said it changes parts of your brain. Your brain actually changes when you encounter problems. So can I go on now?
Oh, one more question, please. Don't be angry. How much, the other time we tried to speak about how much it costs for counseling. So is it per session or altogether the total package? Then how many sessions?
I used to say that, some people will come and say, oh, I just want to do one day counseling. There's nothing like one day counseling, because we are not there for you to advise you. You see, counseling is different from advice.
Counseling is like help manage. Help.
Yes.
Okay.
We are not counseling you to tell you what to do, because you don't know the resources of information you have. Some people will come, it happened to me. That one happened to me. They'll come and tell lies for you. People come and tell lies. They want to get help, they will come and be telling you lies. So we don't do like one session. We have to do a block of it, because first of all, we have to build a relationship with you. You have to trust us that we can help you. And then that one might take 1 or 2 sessions before we start. Like a woman came to me, and she's a white lady. She lost her husband, and she said, I think she's running crazy. She said she's running crazy. I have to, for the first person, to validate her feelings. The first time she came, she cried all day. She was there crying. So the second time she came, she said, Olu, you were just there sitting down, and I was crying, this and that. You didn't even say anything. I said, but that's what you paid for, to listen to you. I give you the space. It's your space. Cry, because you need it. Maybe nobody has allowed you to cry. Just cry. So the first day she cried. So the second time she came, she was saying, I felt better when I cried. And it was like I just broke everything that was in me. I have not had that opportunity, but you gave me that. I was just seated there, and she was crying. she had only one child. So we started. And the second time we started, she was like, you know what? My husband was the best man on earth. I don't know how to do anything. I can't fix the bulb. I can't wash myself. I can't wash the baby. He said my husband was everything. He said he spoiled me rotten. He said I'm just completely useless. He said even to have all the clothes in the house. I said I cannot even do anything. So sometimes when people come and say, all of you, no, go away, go away, I don't want to see you. The next time she will say, oh yeah, call me, let's start. So they say, So she came to me and said, is there anything wrong with me? I said, am I running? I said, no, you are just normal failure. You are grieving and it is fine. I said, okay, so nothing is wrong. These are the things we do for you. You validate your feelings. We make you feel like what you are going through is exactly what you should go through. Because when people tell you, okay, sorry, something is wrong with her. No, no, no. It's normal for you to grieve. Sometimes you scream, you tell people, I don't want you. You're all wicked. This and that. It's so normal. And go understand. Even if you talk against God, go and say, oh no, it is. You see some people who say, God, I am heaven, and I lost my mother. What are you looking? God is not angry. Because he knows that you are grieving. You don't understand what is going on. When your body cools and God, you are the Baba of everything, you have come back, Abby. Because God is like, he understands. So we do like 5 to 10 sessions so that you have time to talk about your problems, and then we start knowing what exactly where to help you.
So how do you charge?
And maybe we will leave that to the end of the session.
Okay.
So that we
Why
can
I'm
finish.
saying that is, the other time I told you that I was waiting for people to talk to me in my DM who needed counseling, that I was going to sponsor some sessions and stuff like that. Though I have 2 people on my mind right now that I will refer to you, and I will sponsor them halfway. So I just want to, I don't mind paying for the first 3 to 4 sessions. Then let them, yes, let them carry on from there. So by the time they start talking with you, they will know that you too will know they need it. You understand what I'm saying? So they will be able to, because I really want them to move on, to move ahead. They are stuck on one spot. Yeah.
So be stuck. I don't know how to say that. It's the worst thing. Oh, it's the worst thing ever. You don't know whether to move forward, you don't know to move backward, you don't know what to do. It's the most terrible feeling you can ever have. It's killing and that can cause suicide.
Yes.
It's terrible.
Some will hide their feelings and pretend all is normal, but you will know that no, it's not normal. They are just hiding it, and
they're hiding
that
because
is,
they don't know who to talk to. And that is why they should go for counseling. If you go for counseling, they give you that
to
it is
themselves.
100% confidential.
Yes. Yes.
I cannot come and be discussing. It's against my profession.
You don't want to mess your license up.
Exactly. It's against my profession to mention anybody's name and say this is what is happening. Even if I want to post anything on Facebook, you must not mention anything that will make anybody to recognize
that this is the person you're talking about. Exactly.
Yeah. Because I don't want to lose my. Can I go on now?
Yes. Okay. Go ahead.
So my personal experience, like I said, we have different ways that we react or respond to trauma. So when I was young, 9 years old, armed robbers came to our neighbor. We were 6 children in the family. I was the only one that was affected by that. For I don't know the reason. So the armed robbers came, not to our house, to our neighbor's house. I was hearing boo boo boo, blah 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 blah, and then after that, I took that on board. I became traumatized with it, and it became a PTSD for me. So if I look back, I'm always seeing somebody is running after me, people hate me, this and that. My father was a pastor. So they took me for deliverance. Deliverance in Nigeria. I fell down that anointing for many times. Nothing happened. I was always having flashbacks. I was always not able to sleep. When I wake up in the morning, my heart is pain because I didn't sleep very well. I was always expecting somebody to come and rob in our house again. Blah blah blah. The problem was too much for me until I became 35 years old. I was still experiencing these terrible things. For many years, I will not be able to sleep. It affected my trust before I could be able to. Even when my husband is saying, I love you, I say, you don't know, lemon. He can love. Can you? I never trusted anybody anymore. So it's going to change everything about you. Yeah. It's going to change your perception about life, how you think, how you feel. It gave me a low self-esteem. I became suicidal. Never trusted anybody. Everything changed until came to the UK. I went to see a doctor and he said, you are experiencing panic attacks because of so that you have experienced in the blah, blah, blah. They said they were going to give me antidepressant, medication. Personally, I don't like medication, so I prefer to go. So I started studying about panic attacks. What are they? So I now find out that it has been panic attacks I've been having, and I studied it before I now went for counseling. So I went for counseling, started helping me how to be so many things. I went through a lot, but thank God today I'm able to overcome it, and I don't have all the symptoms anymore from them, and I'm able to help other people as well. Now, when does trauma become PTSD? When does it become? What is PTSD? PTSD means post means after. Post-traumatic stress disorder. So the post there is that. So traumatic PT, post-traumatic stress. So after your stressful event that has happened to you, it has now become a disorder. When it becomes a disorder, it means that they can't say that they can diagnose it, but you have a lot of symptoms and signs pointing to something. So they call it a disorder, but they cannot really say this is a disorder. So let's say post-traumatic stress disorder. When does trauma becomes true? Now, I would say that this post-traumatic disorder was in those days being attached to only people who go for war, like people who are fighting in the war. So when they come back, because they have seen so many people being killed, they see legs flying up in the sky, somebody is pointing a gun to somebody, they saw brains of people, they saw dead bodies. By the time they come back from war, you see them shaking, very hypervigilant, they can't sleep. They just found that the husband that left last year is different from the husband that came back.
Yes.
So they started saying, what's wrong with this person? So it was only, they thought that it was only this type of people that experience post-traumatic stress disorder. Before they start finding that anybody that has been traumatized that can actually experience post-traumatic stress disorder. So just because you have experienced trauma does not mean that you will be diagnosed with post-PTSD. You will always develop this problem. So that doesn't mean. But the symptoms can be very intense, and these feelings will fade away over time. But after like a month, and you are still feeling as if it has just happened, then there is a problem. So, like the person who asked the question, you are still having that feeling that because there are so many on that PTSD that has gone on. Like my own was also PTSD, but the only thing we knew was deliverance. Everything is devil. That's why church matter sometimes. I have been talking about church matter. That's why you see. Why I don't do my thing in church is that we hate reality. We are the most unrealistic. How would I call it?
Unrealistic people.
We are the most unreal because by the time you go to church, they just flatten your emotions. Something that is very personal to you. Jesus blood, we just flush it away. So why did God give people knowledge to and
They
wisdom?
might even think it's evil spirits.
Yes, everything is evil. You are going through a problem. Yeah, let's say I've sinned against God. No. This is a fallen world. And if Jesus Christ himself said in this life, you will have tribulation.
You encounter so many things.
There is only thing that you should always remember. I am with you. He said, when you are going through fire, not if, that it will come. But the church is very unrealistic. I went to a program in the church. That's why I don't go to church to be taught again. I went to church to talk about this management of. And when I got there, I was talking about how the society sees women. They see you divorced, single, blah blah blah. The pastor was like, please, don't mention divorce here. We don't want you to mention divorce. You want to tell me that there are no people in your church that are divorced? Today, as I'm talking, our own son is divorced. Because we are very unrealistic. You will see something real like this. You will go to, you just use Jesus. That's why. And in counseling, you have to be 100% realistic. We're not talking about maybe, yeah. We're talking about emotions things that are happening in your body now. There's nothing like Jesus flush it out. No. You don't do that. You see, you have to be realistic. So when you experience trauma or let's say PTSD, you begin to see some of the things. I'm going to quickly go through them. There's what we call flashback. You begin to see things as if you begin to relive that incident as if it has just happened. So when I was working in a hospital, it was counseling the wife. So this guy came about 17 years old, was being molested by his stepdad. Dad, boy. So when he was 7, the man was sleeping with the boy. And the boy told mom, hey, this is what stepdad is doing to me. The woman said, there's something wrong with you. They took the child to counseling. Can you imagine? So this boy through all this stress, and then he came for counseling. Very nice boy, very nice boy. He says sometimes when you wake up in the night, you start shaking. Even the mother that was meant to protect him could not even protect him. The boy will run to his grandmother's house and tell the grandmother what is happening to me. The mother will go there. It's a liar. How can my husband do this kind to you? The mother could not protect him. It's very sad. So when you begin to relieve the aspect of the traumatic event, you feel as if it's just happening now. It's true. Then you can have panic attack, a type of fear response, as if you want to die. Panic attack. I don't want anybody to, because I experienced it for 25 years of my life. I thought I was possessed myself. I would just wake up beside my husband. I would just, as if something was just want to snuff life out of me. That was for 25 years of my life. It was a terrible time for me. Then there's what we call hyper arousal. Someone with PTSD may be very anxious, find it difficult to relax. The person will just be constantly on edge. Kilo day, kilo here, this place is unsafe. I don't want to stay around this place again. Kilo day, kilo no, I don't just want to be around here. Then you can see something like this. That one is very terrible. You feel as if you are leaving your body. As if you are not. Sometimes you feel like that when you're not finding it. If you just, I would just feel like I'm not in around that place. I feel like I have left my body. It's all part of, and if you feel like that, if you go to church, number one deliverance case in here, you feel detached as if you are not real. You feel like you are not a human being. Then it's sleep problem. You can't sleep, you can't relax, because you feel unsafe. You feel somebody is pursuing you. You feel that they are going to rob your house. If you have been in a war place before, you feel like the people who took your parents away, they are coming to take you. It's a lot. It's just too much. You have nightmares. Then self-neglect. You begin to have trouble looking after yourself. And that can also lead to suicide. You don't even want to, as if you want to be around anymore. Let me just die. This problem is too much for me. Then some people can go into self-harm. You can start indulging in drugs, alcohol, because they just want to reduce the stress they are going through. It's not that they want to do it, but that is the only thing they can think of. So when you see young people going into drugs, sometimes it might not be because they wanted to do it, because of what they are going through. They cannot cope with it. They have to just, help themselves with an unhealthy coping mechanism. And then the suicide feeling, including being preoccupied with thoughts of ending your life, thinking about stuff of suicide. You see them talk about. So I think that's another, when they come to work, when they start talking, just end everything. What they are attending to, they have been planning what to do with themselves. It's a very difficult thing. So before I begin to talk about tips on coping with PTSD, before you say counselor or you see your doctor or something like that, what are the things that you can do for yourself, even at home? So I'll take one or two questions
like
and then I'll go
like a first aid.
Yeah, like what you can do for yourself, self-help. Yeah, I'll take one or two questions from them. Yeah.
Okay. They said drugs gives temporal relief. Is it?
Yes.
So it's not permanent. So definitely, I think aside from medication, okay, is medication necessary then, or is it compulsory?
Yeah. When you go to see your doctor that you are experiencing or you have experienced problem, they might help you to first of all alleviate your suffering, giving you maybe antidepressants or some other drugs to suppress, the problem you are going through. But they want to combine it with counseling to be able to manage your emotions and manage how you are thinking. For example, me being a CBT counselor, a CBT counselor, what they do is to help you look at what you're thinking, how what you are thinking is affecting your behavior. Yeah. So, and when these things begin to affect you, it begins to affect your productivity in life and your relationship with other people. So you begin to lose it from there. So the combination of the two can actually be of help. In fact, they are the perfect combo. So you can antidepressant for some time, and then you can combine it with counseling. The counseling will now help you. It's just like, for example, of what my sister was talking about. You have a problem, but you are thinking for another person. Okay, so this person that is not greeting me, maybe that's their own problem. Let me continue with my problem and manage my problem. This person that is not calling me, and that he has
Exactly.
his own problem. Let me just continue focusing on it. So we look at all these things as counselors and begin to give you techniques and skills on how to manage your own emotions. If this person is looking at you, or somebody is talking about me, why do I care? So we give you a lot of things on how to manage your emotions and make you stable, because so many things have happened in your life that has caused you pain and they have changed your perception about life. We have to bring that back. Like it makes you feel like having feel slow, low self-esteem, low self-worth. You don't even care about yourself anymore. You see some people don't even dress themselves anymore. They just do jaga. I don't care about life anymore. Sister, what is it now? You just leave me alone. Because one, they don't even know who to talk to. And then they go on Facebook and use it as an example. Mm. Or they use it as prayer points in church. So they come and tell you, we need to pray for sister so she's experiencing problem. Let me tell you the prayer point. This person has actually told you secret. Let's not go there. So before I go into that, let's tell you, is there any other question then?
So go ahead.
Now,
hold on. It said, can PTSD cause madness?
as in when you lose your mind, yes, it's a potential. It can potentially make you lose your mind, because PTSD is very overwhelming. Is it thinking about what you have gone through, like maybe like post rape? How will you trust a man in your life? Or you went through bad trauma or childhood trauma, or you are in the war zone. These things are very overwhelming, very distressing, and or you also I will tell you that you have a disease that cannot be cured. You hear that in your ear. They are distressing you. Or you are going through divorce. Divorce can make some people mad, because especially for a woman, women are more of emotional beings. Where do I go? Should I go to my father's house? It's a space of toughness, and the society is not even, they are not even going to help you. If you leave your husband, wahala. If you say go to your husband's parents' house, wahala. If you will be on the face, there is something you do. When it comes to divorce, Nigerians I don't even know where we stand. You say, my husband divorced. They say, why did you stay there until you die there? If you leave, if you hear some people, I can never leave my husband's house. I don't even know. The stubbornness is terrible. And that is why some people just stay there and die.
Yes.
Mm.
Yes.
Any other question? Right.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
So finally, what are the things you can do for yourself when, because this is exactly where we are going. If you have experienced trauma and you think you now have PTSD, what can you do as a person? What are the self-help care or self-care that you can do for yourself? Number one, there is what we call breathing technique. techniques. Breathing techniques is number one thing that delivered me from panic attacks. And these are the techniques that will also teach you when you come for counseling. One of the best things in life, because one of the best gifts that God has given us is breath. So that breath of life is so free that you don't even know when you are going to take another one. You don't think about it. That's the miracle in breathing. People who are sick in the hospital, they have to think about when to get the next breath, because some of them are on oxygen. But when you wake up, you don't even know you're breathing. So breathing techniques is so powerful. So we teach you how to breathe that can help you relax. It's one of the things that I practiced that delivered me totally from having panic attack. And I am telling you, I was totally delivered just by spending time with my breathing technique. And I did it religiously. And I was free. So when you are experiencing the symptoms of PTSD, because these things are very frightening, you begin to have the feelings of fear and panic. So it can also help you to concentrate slowly on your breathing. So if you go for counseling, you teach you on how to come back to life by looking at how you breathe. Secondly, when you have dissociation, that I mentioned about, you don't feel like you are around anymore. You feel unreal. You feel that you are losing yourself. That's as if where you are is not real. You feel unreal. You feel very, very invisible. One of the things you can do is to start holding things. Okay, I can feel this cup. I can feel a book. I can feel this. So I am still alive. I can touch things. So you look for 3 things that you can touch, so that it will give you that opportunity to know that you are still around. Maybe you look at a particular object and feeling. Maybe you can hold on to your jewelry on your neck. Okay, I can feel this jewelry. I am still okay. Nothing is wrong with me. And then one of the things we also do is you tell yourself you are safe. One of the most terrible things that we do to ourselves is what we call negative self-talk. We are the ones that destroy ourselves by telling ourselves negative things all the time. For example, you tell yourself, so you can't live beyond how you think. You can't. There's no way. And that is why sometimes we say, I was always asking this question when I was young. Why is an unbeliever getting better than me? Yeah, unbelievers are doing well. I was always asking that question when I was very, very young. I should be better now. I have Holy Spirit. Why am I? Why is my life now? But the way I've been conditioned in Christianity is to think that somebody is after my life. But somebody who doesn't believe in Christ doesn't think about that the enemy is looking after them. So I'm always conditioned to think evil. That anything that happens to me because I sinned against God, I'm not paying my money or paying my tithe. For people who don't believe in Christianity, why is their life better? So negative self-talk is one of the things that will first of all take away from you. We replace how you think. So when you see somebody that, sometimes when I was still in the loophole, I'll be like, why is this person looking at me like this? This person is thinking about it. Who cares about what the person is thinking? So we change the way we think. Now, there's another thing that we call self-confidence. For example, a note of what happens when you have a flashback will help you. You know, you could call up in your blanket, cuddle the pet, you can listen to soothing music, you can watch a movie, you know, just to keep yourself with yourself. You can keep a diary. That is what we call journaling. Journaling is one of the best things that can ever happen to you. And I will tell you why. When you have a journal, I have a journal, it's always by my bedside. I will write it, oh, today, the 24th of blah, 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 I met this person at work, and the way the person was looking at me was not nice. And this is it, I felt this, I felt that. The reflection is that don't think about. If you read that in another 10 years, you will be smiling. You say, oh, journaling is powerful. It's like pouring your heart. What is walking around your body? You are pouring it into a seed. Because sometimes so many things work in our body: anger, jealousy, resentment, unhappiness, and all these issues are just in our body. But when you pour it in a book, it becomes fixed. It's in a place. So you don't need to think about it anymore. Journaling is powerful. And lastly is what we call grounding techniques. Grounding techniques is it can keep you connected to the present and help you to cope with flashbacks. Some people have a lot of in truth thoughts. The thoughts keep coming and as like if you can't stop them. But you can actually stop them. It's just they didn't get there in one day. You just have to allow yourself to, you know, to walk yourself just step by step into how to stop these thoughts from disturbing you. So I think, and then the second one is that begin to look after yourself by looking at your triggers. For example, even your smell. If you smell a perfume that resembles the perfume of somebody who raped you, you will remember. Yeah. Yeah. The sound, the words, the places you go to, the book, you can just be watching the movie and then it will be a trigger. You say, this thing has happened to me before. And then they say, where are you rushing to? That thing has triggered your emotions. Let's finish watching this movie now. You say, no, I can't continue anymore. Because it has reminded you of what happened to you. So, but if you have to say, for example, it might also be an anniversary, maybe your birthday, of your divorce, or the time all these things can be very, very powerful. They just trigger a lot of powerful emotions. And the third one is when you are experiencing things, it can be hard to open up to other people. Like I mentioned before, we need somebody to talk to. Unfortunately, in our community, especially in the Nigerian community, we can use you as a prayer point. For example, or bring your something in the Facebook and what you have been trying to cope with, and that you are even still with somebody that you have confided in. And that is why I see a counselor. A counselor will not come and open your nyash outside. It's not possible. I tell people, go and look for counselors. That the one they don't know you because I've never met you before. So sometimes even telling maybe leader in the church can even worsen your situation. Because most people now, they are not even mature, they don't even know what they are talking about. They just pray for you, the blood of Jesus will flush out everything. No, the blood of Jesus doesn't flush frustration. These are real emotions. Yeah. So sometimes it might be working together with other people who have experienced it might be a help to you. We call it peer support. Is it this thing that is happening? We are from, let us discuss about what have you been doing, what is helping you, what is not helping you. These are peer support that can help. Coping with PTSD can be very exhausting. You experience, you cannot sleep yesterday, you have flashbacks this time, you feel like something is happening to you, you don't trust anybody. It can cause a lot of powerful negative emotions. PTSD is not something to take with negative. You have to look after your physical health as well. The food that you eat, you have to exercise. If you are feeling like you are doing this, you can walk around, you can take fresh air. If you need to talk to somebody who is able to confide in, it's also okay. Drink a lot of water, start exercise, spend time outside, avoid drugs and alcohol. Some people, when they do, the pain is too much for them. It's not that they want to do it, but they just want to get out of the pain. And people who commit suicide as well, it's not because they wanted to commit suicide, it's the pain is too much for them. So they just tell themselves as good as ending it. And then we have what we call PTSD and sleep problems. You find it hard to fall asleep or stay asleep. You feel unsafe during the night. You feel anxious and afraid of nightmares. Nightmares are terrible for them. When they sleep, immediately they close their eyes. Somebody who has been in war, you are just hearing, you can imagine. You cannot fall asleep. I remember when I was having panic attacks, I would open my eyes from night to morning, no sleeping. So I will always remember when the armed robbers came to our neighborhood. Even after getting to Liverpool, I was still thinking they'll come and meet me here because the parts of your brain have been affected as well. Mm. I think that is all I have to say before I take questions, and then I'll be able to answer your questions.
You have you have really done very well. Yes. We have spent so much time. See, I purposely left you to really give this talk because it is very, very important and is affecting practically everybody. Unless we want to be not to be truthful to ourselves, but I just want to read when someone said, "Could it cause mental derailment?" And then this person now wrote what she wrote. I had to pin it so that I want to read it. It says it could cause mental problem because our own mom, uh, when our brother of 35 years passed away in our mother's hands, 35 years. So says it affected their mom so much that their mom started calling everybody, all the other children, the name of that boy that passed away. You understand? That she could not recognize any other person except that boy. So anybody among the children, the other children, all the siblings of the guy, whenever she sees them, she will call them by the guy's name, to see the depth of it. And why some people will say, "Oh, Amuwa Olorun, it has happened and has happened," and some people will hold on to it for the rest of their lives. They won't get over it, and it can even cause, something like that. So self-help, and then we talk about self-love.
We are not
Self-love.
fully supported in Nigeria. That's it.
Yes,
No community.
yes, I
Everything
will
is
not lie to you.
devil. Everything is spiritual. Everything is your prayer. Everything. There's so many. I used to say the wonders of science is power. Everything God has given unto us to enjoy.
Yes.
Science is gone so. In fact, if you are seeing how much science in fact, I want to say that people who know more of science know God more than we that go to church. They appreciate God more because the more in depth of science you have in you, it makes you know that there is a power there that is. Go and see the ocean. Just go and walk past the ocean and see. You don't see a whale coming up like this. we say, God, you are great. Because of that small thing that you have just said. People who know science, they love God more. The depth of science, you know. But everything we know is because I don't know why religion is so, we are so engrossed in religion in Nigeria that everything is devil, devil, devil. And that makes us to not be responsible for our life. You see devil in everything. If you have accident, it's because you're not paying your tithe. If you like pay your tithe every day, you will still have accident. Things happen. Wait, this is a fallen world. And Jesus himself is not promising you easy free life. In fact, the day you give your life to Jesus, you are a target to the devil. Yes, because we make sure everybody feels that it's one devil that is pursuing you. If something happens to your child, it's because you have not. I mean, it's our environment that makes us so.
Yes, it's
We are not
really our
supported.
environment.
We are not really fully supported.
Somebody told a story. He said when they were younger, group of friends, boys now, and then they were talking about, one of them said, but because he came from a home where there was love, they cared, and then there were three of them. So they said they would say it at home and see the reactions of their people. So the first person, they had to buy him stuff. You all right? What happened to you? Don't do like that. It's not good. A child of God cannot, take your own life. This is not good, this and that. And the second person, the same thing. So all of them came with, their testimonies. So he now said it was his own turn. He now got home and told them, so they looked at him, they didn't talk, they didn't say anything. In the night, the father, the mother, and their uncle gathered, they carried him, tied him to the center table, and beat the hell out of him. Let's help you. He said he was not going to. He said the following day, he couldn't see those people. Days after, because they've beaten hell out of him. Then days after, when they now saw him, they now said, hey, how was it? If you ask me that stupid question,
I don't want to die again. My people will kill me.
And that is justice.
Justice.
That is it. So, at times when children come to you and say stuff, there were short videos I posted on YouTube when children will go to their parents and say, this person is doing this person is doing that. Do we parents, do we take time to monitor, to check? We have seen cases where the children lies, but at times it's not the lie that matters. Do you even check? Do you even verify? Do you even take time to watch closely to see if those things that those children told you were true or not? You understand what I'm saying? So it makes many children to be bitter. I was talking about children recently, that so many children in Africa are dealing with pain, so much pain that it's affecting their relationship with their parents at latter end when they get older, and they don't have enough, no love, no compassion, no intimacy.
That's even the journey of getting married. You see how marriages are now. It's because of childhood trauma.
Like the frustration at home made some people to choose wrongly. And then when they ended up, having a bad relationship, they remember that if not my parents have been doing this and that, I would have been better on my own. I would have taken my own time. There was somebody that got married 2 months after his marriage. He met someone he had been looking for years. You understand? So he said it took him 10 years before he could get it off his head, because each time he saw his wife, he was always bitter that my parents pushed me to go and marry this one. You understand? That I told them I could wait a little bit because I knew the lady was coming back. You know, there was no much this social media stuff wasn't there that time. So if somebody travels abroad, if the person writes letter, at times the post office, when they bring letter, they will not even deliver to the right place. So you might not even be getting any information or anything from the person. So they lost contact for a few years. And by the time he got married, the lady came back looking for him. So he was already like married. It was in second month after his marriage. He said the lady was just crying, but I asked you to wait. And I turned down everybody because of you. Coming back to meet you married. So this guy said he felt so bitter that he had to disgust his parents that they pushed him into doing that marriage. If only he could have waited for like 6 more months, maybe things would have been different, you know, stuff like that. So a lot of children are in pain, a lot of adults, let me say, because we are no longer children anymore.
It's better to mend a child than to mend an adult.
Yes.
That's why we have problems.
That is it. At the the thing has been instilled.
Yeah.
You know.
Somebody that has been broken and want to, and you know that you attract the people that you don't want. That is why we say when you get married and you are divorced, make sure you heal first before going to another relationship.
If not, you are getting to another worse.
Even worse. That's why once you are divorced, you will continue to be divorced because you begin to attract the same people. So you have to heal first and know yourself. You are not codependent upon anybody. You love yourself. You know what you want, and then before you go into another relationship. Yeah. So, do you have any more questions?
That's all.
Okay. Like I mentioned, trauma. What I want people to take home is that we have all been through traumatic experiences, events that we have seen, maybe loss of a child, of a parent, accidents, rape, or you've seen a lot of that. In fact, some people are in you know, recurrent trauma. They are still in it for years. They will be in a kind of trauma, and it has become what we call complex PTSD. That's the type of it.
That one is even worse.
That was, if you check the complex PTSD, it even was like you are exposed to it, you don't even know how to feel anymore. You are going out, you are coming back into the same trauma. They are going out, but people are looking at you, you are smiling. People are going through a lot, they just come to face. Did you eat pancake? Have you do on face? It's covering so many things.
This thing covers a lot of things.
The clothes cover a lot. This pancake that we all put on, it covers a lot. There's so many tears that you cannot share with anybody. That is why we always recommend go and meet with counseling, where you can pour out your heart and they give you the space to express yourself. So people will come in and start banging the table. They want to burst of their anger. They have kept against their parents for so long. Express it. It's your space. But you even meet maybe your spiritual leader. They say you have anger issue. Oh, yeah, kneel down. Let me pray for you.
They can cast out the spirits. Some could be spiritual though. But
yes, I don't dispute spiritual problems. But spiritual problems are they're very small. It's we that in Africa we enlarge it. They are spiritual problems.
Let's just thank God for our lives.
There are spiritual problems. You know what we do in Nigeria or in Africa? We make people to feel the presence of evil more than God's consciousness. That's the difference. God consciousness and the evil consciousness. So in Africa, we make you feel that the devil is after you, is after you. If you bring Shango to Oyibo now, Oyibo will look at the Shango and say, oh, this image is nice, it's good,
This
I
is
like it, I'm
screaming. This is screaming.
and he will take it to his bedroom and be smiling at you. You that came from Africa, because your faith is tied to it. Because that is what we were taught. It's what you have believed in. And that's why the Bible says your faith is, how did it say it in Hebrew? Is that faith in what because of your faith is attached to it. It talks about faith in Hebrew or something like that. So it mixes with your faith. Once your faith is mixed with something, there's nothing anybody can tell you. So we have faith more in Hebrew than in God. Okay, let me try this example. For example, now you say, I used to work in a place. This lady was telling me, Jeka Pyro program and the program coming church lost gangan. And we were there to work.
And
our
so
and but church landlord. There is no concept of God. The concept of God is that God is omnipresent, He's omniscient, He knows where you are going. Now you are telling a lie to God who knows you. So go and meet God in another place. And you know, man. And I was like, you are telling me to tell a lie here, as if God is not here. And the place where you are going to, God is there. That means you don't have the concept of God in you. So they have taken God out of our preaching. They are even telling us to go. If I tell you church matters, you leave this place. You are telling me, okay, for example, they said Gio is coming to Liverpool. With some of us to go and tell us in the office that we are sick, so that we can come and see Gio. You see the concept I'm talking about. We are not God conscious. We don't even have the concept of God. The concept of God is that God is omnipresent. God, you are telling lies in the workplace. He is the same God that is in the church.
Yes.
So we are made to believe that God is the church.
You are going there yourself. You are not going to gain anything because you have already. It's based on life.
Your workplace is the God in your house. Is the God in your. You are not the compilation in God. As you have, God is in you. So we are not taught the concept of God and the consciousness of. We are being made to be conscious of the evil, and that's why our whole life is like the devil is pursuing me. Devil. That's why I have to always don't talk about the devil to me. The Bible says, if my way is God, I have no problem with the devil. Don't sort the devil out. All I need to do is to please God. Once I please God, I don't need to pray in the workplace and then pray. No. I have my quiet time. Me and my God, we are spoken. And I don't want to make him unhappy.
Why should I have time? There are some people that really knows God. They know God. They know how they do it. And then they try as much as possible to please God and not to, but this one, as I would say, my dear sister, there are spiritual forces. So whether we like it or not, the way we're being brought up, so they just help us. That is just the issue.
If you give them the power, they will take it.
Yeah, so the Lord should may God help us. May God help us.
So have we answered the question? And the last question is about if you want to contact, please follow my page. My people.
Yes, I will. Is El Nino there? El Nino, if you are there, write her name. So that Yes.
So if you follow my page, you find some of the things I always share. You can scroll and glean from the wealth of knowledge that I've got as a counselor. So if you need help, like I mentioned before,
Mm.
you can book sessions with me. I'll be able to support you in what you are feeling, how you are feeling, what is going on for you, especially somebody has mentioned self-pity and self-blame. We will walk you through it, how you can keep journals, techniques that can help you build up your self-esteem. You know that someone is saying Nigeria is difficult to.
I pin it down already so that they can see your name and
Okay,
then they can. So
yeah. So, what was the question again about my
yes, I was
session?
asking about fees. I was asking, you said
Mhm.
from 5 sessions upwards, that is the ideal thing,
Yes,
to get
yeah,
that help.
yeah.
Because if you don't do it properly, you do once or twice, this thing will haunt you again. You're still coming back again and start all over again. And that time, things might have gone worse. So the best thing is to do proper healing, like
Yeah.
go through. It doesn't stop you from praying or believing in
No,
what
no,
you
no, no,
believe
no.
in.
It has
This
nothing
one
to
is
do
just
with your faith.
natural thing.
Yes,
It's just like orthodox medication. So it's just
yes,
like a
yes,
self-help,
yes.
for you to come out. If you're taking medications for it, fine. But at the same time, you still got to, do some things to make sure you're okay. And that is it. So may the Lord help us. So let's just take time and do all these things. So as the session I was asking you about is like how much is it possible for you to tell us how much it's going to cost?
Okay. Because of our country situation, so in UK, I charge like £40 per hour. But
Okay,
this is UK. But for my people, because I know that things are very, very.
I
Are
know.
you are you sure you can hear me?
Yes, clearly.
Okay. Because I know because of Nigeria, I always make people feel welcome about whatever they want to. It's not going to be free anyway, because I will spend my time and prepare for you as well.
Mm.
So I normally do like 7,500 or 10,000, depending on your circumstance. So
Each session.
for each session, for each session. So I can't charge you what I charge you in here in the £40
I
to.
know. Pounds
So
is even more than dollar.
and I can reach you wherever you are in the world.
Mm-hmm.
I've had clients from Canada. I've had clients from Philippines. I just can't tell across the globe. So because it is easier now, we can talk on WhatsApp. We can do Messenger or Zoom. So it's always things. So if you are buoyant enough, you can pay 10,000 to support other people as well. Make people, capable.
I can pay how much?
I said if some people are
Oh,
buoyant enough,
okay,
they can
okay,
pay
okay, okay.
10,000. Some
Okay.
people are not as buoyant as they can pay 7,500
Mm-hmm.
for each session they do. Yeah. So, but the least you can book for is 5 sessions.
Okay.
That 5 even, maybe by the time you go for the fifth session, you find out that you still need.
Mm.
Yeah, because it's like 45 minutes per session, 1 hour, almost 1 hour. So you may not be able to do everything you want to do because it's a time for you to think about everything that is bothering you.
Okay. So
Mm.
I've already contacted somebody, and I'll contact the second person. So we'll talk after this thing. I'll talk to them separately, and then they'll inbox you separately. So that
Yeah,
is it.
Counseling is good for everyone. I have gone for counseling. I still go for counseling because we have supervisors. If I am stuck and I need help, I go to my supervisor and say, "Oh, I'm feeling this way. What do you think is wrong with me?" I go for counseling as well. Everybody needs help at some point. You know, when we are overwhelmed, we need to talk to somebody. If you are overwhelmed, don't, the reason is not for you to commit suicide or into mood swinging. They are affecting everybody. Your hunger, you are just all over the place. We are all going through stuff.
Okay.
So you should be able to manage it. So these are the things that help you manage your stress, especially the way you think, the way you are behaving, and affecting your maybe relationship, children, with your family, with your staff in the office, staff and everything. And then you're not able.
Thank you so very much. I really appreciate you. Thank you. I really appreciate it. I know you are coming soon. Very soon. You're coming back again. Like God's grace.
What was the second one you said I was going to do?
We'll talk about offline. Offline. So thank you so very much. I really appreciate you. So everybody, Mrs. Olubukola Adewumi is done with us, and she has taken us through a lot today, and I have written down notes so much. I have written so much down, so that I'm still going to go through, and that's it. What I will just say is, if you need help, you want to reach her, I just pinned her name so that you can reach her. Her name is Olubukola Adewumi Omo Baba Agbara. Just go to her DM, talk to her. If you need some sessions with her, tell her you are from Thoughtful Events so that she can give you the discount. Right. So I know you are in good hands. So it's not going to be it's going to be none of my business, because she's not going to tell me anything. All she needs to do is give you discount based on coming from us. And so whatever you go there to discuss or to do is okay. So that is it. And that is it. Thank you so very much. I really appreciate you, my sister. Thank you. God bless you.
I'm going to leave my line if I talk about.
I know. Anything that has to do with licensing, if you go offline, you go beyond what you are taught, the license is gone. And once it is gone, if you are being denied in one place, you cannot use it in another place. No, it's not like in Africa, you say, "Oh, well, Bamilo, your state, I'm going to Abuja, Kushele." Once if you are in Liverpool, you are being denied there. All over UK, you cannot use it. And even as the social media and whatever communication is these days, like they can even ask about you in another country if you go there. So once you have a bad record somewhere, you can't rectify it in another place.
If you book your sessions with me, I'm a licensed counselor, and your stuff for whatever discuss, it's safe 100%.
Yeah.
None of anybody.
That's confidentiality. It has to be confidential.
Yeah,
it has to. Even your child, you and your child might be using her.
Yes.
Both of you will not know.
Yes. If you have a child that is I am counseling, like as a parent, you want to know what you want to know what your daughter or your son has told you the counselor. We tell you it's none of our business. Yes. What to discuss with your child.
Yes.
What you can do about it. If your child is to tell you about what they are doing, there's nothing we can do. You have to respect the personality of your child. If your child says, "Don't tell my parents," we can't do anything about it.
Exactly.
Somebody is raping her. There's nothing we can do. They are not going to say anything.
Yes.
In fact, some of them will be saying, "Please, I'm begging in the name of God. What has the child told them?" I'm sorry. The confidentiality of your, I cannot tell you what our job is. And unfortunately, unfortunately, I'm in a kind of situation that we respect confidentiality.
Of
If
course,
I'm
of course, of course.
medical scientist as well, I have to keep all the results and everything about our patients confidential.
Mm-hmm.
You can't reveal any. There was a particular time the doctor called me, and unfortunately for me, he mentioned his name. Because, "Can you know, I am Dr. So so so. Can you give me my result?" I said, "Who are you?" "I'm a doctor. I'm a consultant. I need my
Mm.
result." "I'm sorry, I can't give you your result." This man begged me. I said, "I don't know whether
Oh, oh,
whether you want to take my practicing license for me." "I'm
oh,
sorry, I
oh.
cannot pay you."
It might be
The
two ways.
doctor begged me.
Mm-hmm.
The doctor begged me. I said, "No, I'm sorry." He said, "You are so, it's not a matter of me, no.
No.
My license are on school. I
It's just like
cannot
his
give
own.
your result to
For
you.
somebody to just
You
call
need
you
a
for his
doctor.
own and you want
Don't
to
go
release
and
it
meet
just like
your
that.
own doctor too. It's as bad as that. So your confidentiality is our number one. Your autonomy is our number two. Whatever you have come to discuss, it is up to you. Whatever you want to do, we are not giving you advice. We just want to help support you with the knowledge you have,
Mm-hmm.
so that you're able to use it for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Make a
Mm-hmm.
decision
Yeah.
that's going to be advising.
By
Go
God's
and go
grace.
and say
I
the
know.
one you can't do is not for us. Go and tell the
Mm-hmm.
husband it's not for us. You
No,
will
no,
not
no,
have
no, no, no,
to.
no, no,
That's what
no, no.
we want.
Even if you are the one that have brought that child, whatever
Yes,
that child discusses with her remains confidential.
yes,
So he has no right to
yes.
release it to you. If your child wants you to hear from it, she will tell you. He or she will tell you. That is it.
So thank you
So,
very much for having me. I
yeah,
really
thank you, ma.
enjoyed the
Thank
discussion,
you,
and I hope
thank you,
everybody
thank
enjoyed it.
you.
I think
I
she's bringing
do.
me something.
I really appreciate you. You have really spent so much time with us today. You did well. We have spent more than 2 hours, I believe.
As I am drinking water, I know you can talk a lot. Me, I can't talk like you. I'll just be drinking water.
I thought for living, no. I used to be a teacher, so I can talk for 8 hours straight. Yes. Enjoy, enjoy for.
I
It is
know
well. No,
Ah,
I'll be fine.
I give it to you.
Thank you.
But
I once went for training to do this behavioral health stuff.
wow.
I pulled out because I was too emotional. Listening to people's stories, I would cry
That's
from.
I because
I was
second
just crying every day, every day,
I used to do
every
that.
day.
I used to do that a lot.
Oh,
I didn't
God.
know that I
When
can
people
practice
tell you their
it.
stories, I will just be looking at them. Once they come out, the following morning, they come to school. We meet like this. Before I say good morning, I just start crying. Mama, someone said they kill it.
So things like that before I was taught how on how to close the door physically and close the door emotionally.
Yeah.
So they taught us to, so when we finish our counseling, we actually close the door. We forget about what we have discussed so that we don't take on other people's
Yeah,
problems.
that's why you go for counseling. Yes. You two have to drop everything. So that's it. Yeah.
We have to
It is
set
well.
second trauma.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. I really appreciate you.
You
Thank
all
you.
for coming.
Thank
Please
you.
follow my page and you will learn a lot
Yes.
about
Yes.
everything I've been posting. It's just
Yes.
about self how to look after
You too,
yourself,
bring
not
your friends, so let them come and join our own group too. Bring them, let them listen to us too. We have a lot, and the Lord will help us. Thank you, Ma. I really appreciate you.
Thank you very
It's
much.
nice having you tonight. Yes, you
Thank
can
you.
drop off. My regards to the
We
family.
do. Thank you and your family
Yes,
as well.
yes,
Bless
yes, ma. Yes,
you.
yes, ma. So thank you everybody for having us tonight. Thank you. We have spent more than required time. So I really appreciate her. She has done so very well. She's a busy person, very, very busy. So for her to have us today, it took us a long time because we have to book ahead, we have to change dates, we have to, because she's been very, very busy. So that's why I have to appreciate her so well. So thank you so very much, everybody. I still remain Oluwabi or Abid Busi, and this is always being brought to you by Thoughtful Event. So every Thursday at 8:30 p.m. Normally we don't stay this long, but I don't want her to split this particular topic to 2 sessions so that we'll be able to finish. And then I really wanted her to take us through, so I gave her that chance to explain the in-depth of it, and you can't learn everything the same day, but at least she has taken us more than halfway of what trauma and PTSD is. So it is now left for us to know what we need and how we need it. May the Lord help us. So we meet on Monday again at 7 p.m. where we advertise what we do, and then we talk about what is going on in the country, like in the world, and reality stuff. And that is it. So I really appreciate you. I've seen so many people coming up today to join us. Thank you. And I want to and those people that are joining for the first time, thank you so very much. I appreciate you. God bless you. We'll see you on Monday by God's grace. I love you all. Bye.